Absolutely awesome little place called Sandy Point. Apparently it used to be a cattle crossing. So that's the campground up there, you can sort of see it. Apparently there's about 70 odd campsites, which is fantastic. It's free, there's flushing toilets. So we travelled down from home yesterday, it's about 600 odd k's. We're on the road for, I don't know, maybe 6 hours. Wasn't particularly interesting, just driving down the highway. So we didn't film any of that. Got in here and set up camp last night. It's great. Went for a walk yesterday afternoon, probably about 3 o'clock. Set up camp. Went for a walk through Hay township. Had a bit of a look around. It's now early in the morning, as you can see the sun up in the trees. So going back up to the campsite, make a cup of coffee, pack up, and we'll move on. We're probably going to move on today. Get a little bit closer to where we're going.
The frog.
Home of the frogs. If you lived here, you could come and work out here. This is just stunning. Right on the edge of town. And it's one of them. So here we are, Yanga National Park. We used to stay, well, the last time we were down here we stayed at a place called the Woolshed, but you can't camp there anymore, strangely, but you can camp down here. How good is this? Mildura. Well, sunset hit and we got a campfire started. I had to kill off the music that was playing in the background on the original recording, but well, we got the campfire started. We made a bit of a start on dinner, and we had a whole bunch of hot chips wrapped in paper that we bought for lunch. And we thought, since we don't really want to heat them up, we throw them on the fire. Smelled pretty good as the chips and the oil and the fat and the paper burned away. The new lights on the Ranger aren't a bad thing. We set them up just before we left. Really impressed with the amount of light they throw into that living area in front of the camper. Really happy. And the next morning we're off to Mungo National Park. It's taken us 10 years, but we've finally got here.
Yeah, because we started here, and we've been here and here.
Can you imagine what this would have looked like full of water? So sooner or later we'll be over there. Somewhere. So a bit after we drove, or we visited the lookout, we drove across into the park proper, past the visitor station to the walls of China. And there's a nice walk that you can do. And there's little information boards and things like that that make it really accessible. And you can book to do tours. If you're not on a tour, there's a whole bunch of signs that say, please don't leave the boardwalk. These people did. But really annoyed because these guys are just walking around on an area that's clearly signposted, don't walk on it. It's such an honour to be able to visit these amazing places, but they're fragile. These places are so important that they're listed as World Heritage Sites back in 1981. We've got to really respect the importance that these places have, and places like this have. And we've got to preserve them, we've got to help preserve them. Geologically, they're important and they're fragile. And they're so culturally important to the traditional owners of the area. These aren't places for anyone to trudge around just to get a selfie. Get really, really annoyed with this. So if you're visiting places like this, whether they're World Heritage listed or not, and there's signs around that say don't walk on the area, or please stick to the footpath, or whatever it might be, please just follow that advice. Look at this as an amazing, amazing site, and it's really spectacular, really impressive to look at. Checking it out from this boardwalk. No need to walk down in there, as tempting as it is. Like, this place has formed over tens of thousands of years. It's still going to be there if we just respect it and look at it from a distance. Don't need to go in there and walk around. Funnily enough, we're now here in Mungo Lodge. Set up camp. I did some footage of that already, but it's raining and we're stuck. Not much we can do. We've just got to sit it out. Roads are closed. Once they open, we'll head off, but for the time being, we'll just sit it out.
That's why the switch is the best way. Well, there's still some campers up there. Sun's out again.
Yep. We're just doing a quick walk up from Mungo Lodge just back down there, and this is a really big puddle that we're going to have to get through if we come back up here in the car, which I don't think we will be, but anyway. A little bit further along, there are some sealed roads in Mungo National Park. Just does make things a little bit easier to get around. If you think about coming out here, you don't need a four-wheel drive per se, but probably doesn't hurt. So the sun came up and we started driving out. There's a whole lot less water around this morning. We actually ended up getting convoyed out, or leaving, as part of a convoy. And you can sort of see the car in front of us every now and again. And that's what's behind us. But we're heading out of here back down into Mildura. Wasn't our original plan, but these things happen. And this is the really pretty Loch 11 in Mildura. So the drive took us, I don't know, probably an hour or so to get past the mud and the slush and grotty roads. And we came here for a bit of a look around. Such an amazing place, these old lots.
Open.
I don't know.
Good time. We'll probably
Probably.
stay on the board.
But there's fish.
Heard that one. Did you hear that one?
Can you see them? 1, 2, one up there. Heaps of them.
Oh, yeah, some little ones. Pretty clean looking.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few guppys that the water's pretty clear.
Don't know what they are, but they're not.
Perch.
Yeah, they look like little perch. That's awesome.
Pretty healthy looking.
Yeah.
Got no little pictures off the top of the water.
You can see that gate. And then this one, yeah, how full it is. That's pretty cool. Alright, I think I might leave this video here. We did do a whole bunch of other bits and pieces, but I think I might make a separate video out of what we did with the rest of the trip.